Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And hello again. I am back from my travels. I had an excellent time in some fancy hotels and swamps and silent film star themed bars. Yeah, it was kind of a weird trip. What was going on there? But anyway, I am back, and in my last proper video, I was celebrating the 55th anniversary of the launch and landing of Apollo 11. So for today's video, we are going to celebrate another anniversary. But this is of something a little less famous, the Chandra X-Ray Observatory, which just turned 25. And to celebrate, NASA recently released a whole bunch of pictures of iconic astronomical objects like the Crab Nebula and Cassiopeia A that give us a glimpse of how the universe looks through Chandra's eyes. So if you've never heard of this telescope, we will do a little backstory first and then take a look at some of these recently released images of the universe as taken by this telescope. You know, like you do on a Tuesday. So Chandra launched on July 23rd, 1999, aboard the Space Shuttle Columbia. It was just one in a series of great observatory satellite telescopes that NASA launched between 1990 and 2003, Hubble also being one of these. The telescope is named after the Nobel Prize-winning Indian-American astrophysicist Subrahmanyan Chandrasekhar. Its mission, broadly speaking, is to allow scientists from around the world to obtain X-ray images of exotic environments to help understand the structure and evolution of the universe. And even today, 25 years later, the Chandra X-Ray Observatory still stands as the world's most powerful X-ray telescope. It has an egg-shaped orbit around the Earth and is currently hanging out at about a third of the way to the moon. And it has led to many discoveries by recording X-ray emissions beamed from long-dead stars, supermassive black holes, and clusters of galaxies. And if you look at Chandra's Wikipedia page, it's just like this list of like first after first, discovery after discovery. This telescope has been very busy for 25 years. Pat Slane, the director of the Chandra X-Ray Center located at the Smithsonian Astrophysical Observatory in Massachusetts, said, "Astronomers have used Chandra to investigate mysteries that we didn't even know about when we were building the telescope, including exoplanets and dark energy." The Chandra telescope, which is about 45 by 64 feet, consists of 4 pairs of mirrors and their support structures. It combines these mirrors and 4 science instruments to capture and probe the X-rays from astronomical sources. The incoming X-rays are focused by the mirrors to a tiny spot about half as wide as a human hair on the focal plane, about 30 feet away. The focal plane science instruments, ACIS and HRC, capture the sharp images formed by the mirrors and provide information about the incoming X-rays, their number, position, energy, and time of arrival. Chandra also has 2 different sets of thrusters, one for propulsion and the other for momentum unloading. The propulsion thrusters were used immediately after launch to help propel Chandra into its final orbit. The momentum unloading thrusters are periodically used to apply torque to Chandra and to control the attitude. NASA's Chandra X Observatory was originally scheduled for a 5-year mission. We have heard this so many times, but as of 2024, it is still going. Astronomers around the world continue to access the observatory's data to discern the structures and evolutions of various objects in our universe. And here's how you can tell how critical the Chandra X-Ray Observatory has been for the last 25 years. According to Space.com, its science has led to more than 700 PhD theses, has supported thousands of undergraduate, graduate, and postdoctoral research careers, and has resulted in about 10,000 peer-reviewed and pre-peer-reviewed papers. And all of this makes it one of the most scientifically productive NASA missions in astrophysics. Demand for the telescope's time has remained very high throughout its mission, and typically only 20% of the requested time is approved, according to NASA. Ellen Stofan of the Smithsonian Institution said, "Chandra's imagery and data have inspired people of all ages to think about what can be found when we look up into outer space. Chandra continues to provide X-ray eyes to allow us to better understand our place in the universe." Now, before we get into these incredible images, This anniversary has been said to have been a bit bittersweet to some astronomers. NASA's budget plan for the next 5 years forecasts the premature canceling of the Chandra mission due to financial restrictions. This despite the projection that the observatory could still have another decade of life left and the mission costs are pretty stable. The decision would free up much of the $68 million spent on the observatory every year, but it would lead to the layoff of astronomers whose jobs rely on its science and upkeep. But the end of Chandra would also leave the US without a telescope mirroring or give us something new that could surpass this telescope's capabilities. So about 700 astronomers who have formed the Save Chandra Coalition continue to urge NASA to reconsider this decision. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to take a look and see if there's anything that you can do to help keep this telescope going, if you are so inclined. Lisa Cooley of the Smithsonian said, "Chandra is a living legacy that we hope will continue to help us explore the universe for years to come." So let's take a look at some of these incredible images that Chandra has given us over the years. This is Cassiopeia A, a supernova remnant about 11,000 light years from Earth. It was the first light image of the Chandra Observatory soon after it was deployed. And since then, according to NASA, the observatory has since observed the glowing ball of matter and energy for more than 2 million seconds, or 23 days. This is the Serpens Nebula, aka Bat Shadow, a star-forming region roughly 1,300 light-years from Earth. A huge shadow in the shape of a bat is cast across a more distant cloud, created by a young star's puffy planet-forming disk, which is not seen in the image. And what's crazy about this image is the size. This shadow is enormous. It spans 200 times the diameter of our entire solar system. And here is the Orion Nebula, a large cloud within our galaxy where stars are being born. In this image, newly formed stars are seen in neon pink with white centers shining through a haze of clouds. At 1,500 light-years away, the nebula is one of the closest star-forming regions to Earth and is also visible to the unaided eye under dark skies. And this is WR124, which sounds like kind of a lame name, but WR stands for Wolf-Rayet star, which is a rare class of massive stars that lose mass rapidly during a short-lived phase before they explode in a supernova event. They were named after a Mr. Wolf and a Mr. Rayet, after first being spotted by these guys in 1867. WR124 is about 30 times heavier than the Sun and lies 15,000 light-years away from Earth in the constellation Sagitta. These reds and purples are dense wind clouds around the star, which supposedly may be preventing Chandra from spotting a companion neutron star in the region. And lastly, this is the Crab Nebula. Great name, 5 stars all the way around. This is one of the brightest supernova remnants in our sky. It shines like a neon purple mushroom at the heart of a dense web of filaments spewed out by a massive star during its death. The new image from Chandra reveals in exquisite detail the rings around the white pulsar, a leftover of the bygone star, and narrow jets blasting away from it into the abyss of space. I'm pretty sure this one's my favorite. And if you'd like to see more images from Chandra, I will leave a link in the description. They are all capital G gorgeous. So yeah, that is the origin story and legacy thus far of the Chandra X-Ray Observatory. It's been doing some amazing work for the last 25 years, so let's hope it will have the chance to do more down the road. And I get that 68 mil a year for an X-ray telescope is a lot, definitely, but I do think that there is some merit to the idea that we shouldn't lose a tool in our NASA tool chest that we aren't going to replace with something else. It just feels like we have this amazing window to distant parts of the universe and we're going to just like pull the shade, but not like open the shade on another window that's also facing distant parts of the universe. Do you know what I mean? But I suppose we'll see. Either way, I think we got our money's worth. I mean, a 5-year mission turning 25, that's pretty good.
Pretty pretty good.
So let me know your thoughts. Had you ever even heard of this telescope? Or tell me which of the images that I showed you was your favorite. Maybe I should do a poll. I haven't done a poll in a minute. Remind me to do a poll for the Chandra Images. Okay, we'll see if that works. That's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Good to be back, everyone. You guys were like, we were always here, Marion. But thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video.
And Houston, what you're seeing is the actual moment of deploy there when we take the switch to deploy, and it's so quiet. We were just amazed, but you look out and this thing is so big, you certainly know that it's moving towards you and over the head of the shuttle. You're getting a little bit better view of Chandra out in front of the IUS there. And I know that a lot of people have seen Chandra as it's been constructed and seen it as it's been installed in the shuttle, but I will tell you there is nothing as beautiful as Chandra sailing off on its way to work.